No one's home. Oh, hello world. My name is Stephen Walker, and welcome to A Walker in the Woods. I just found a new rabbit hole. It's a big rabbit. So, are you a nutter? Are you a black sheep? An outlier? A conspiracy theorist? What keeps you up at night? In this video, I'd like to dive into a few, or many, of the ones that I find very interesting. If you agree or disagree, or have some of your own, then I recommend that you drop a comment down below. Tell me what you agree with, what you disagree with, or ones that you have heard that you didn't hear on this video. And of course, if you do decide to tune in and turn on to this content, drop a thumbs up. It does help the algorithm. I have 5 categories that I want to touch on. So health, science, wealth, the arts, and the esoteric. I want to jump into science real quick. And if you can call it science, I guess you can. They've created a lot of good things like Velcro and Tang. If you know who I'm talking about, that would be NASA. And do you know how much money NASA gets from the government a day or a year? Take a guess. $1 million? 10 million? How about $69.6 million a day? And that means $25.4 billion a year. That is 1/20th the size of the United States military budget. So back down the old rabbit hole with NASA. You know, that's one of the oldest conspiracy theories out there, probably. 1960, what was it, 69 or 67? Apollo, we went to the moon. Hey, we went to the moon, I saw it on TV. Hey, I saw President Nixon. Let's see, that would have been before he took the dollar off the gold currency. A couple of years before, he was on his phone in the Oval Office talking to Neil Armstrong on the moon. On the phone. Amazing. That's amazing. And then you've got some from NASA who says, hey, yeah, we'd go back to the moon, but we destroyed the technology and it's too painful to rebuild it. Way back when NASA wasn't making $60–70 million a day, they were on a tight budget. They say we can't get up to the moon again. We don't have the technology. Although you have more technology in your hand right now than NASA did way back in '69 when they sent those 3 astronauts, NOT, astronauts to space. And do you remember watching those 3 when they returned from the moon? One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, and they all came back and they were looking like they just stole a cookie out of the cookie jar. Odd human behavior. You can't lie. Your eyes don't lie. And then even the modern technology that they have today, there are a lot of glitches if you start looking into it. A lot of green screen glitches where you see some rope, you know, attached to some dude's waist or shoulders. They get glitched out of a screen before they go behind some prop. The balls, the water droplets, there's just a lot of indiscrepancies that a lot of truth seekers are finding and reporting on and making videos on. And you know, it's like, when are you gonna believe what you see? Can you believe your own 5 senses, or are you gonna leave it to the government, Big Daddy, to tell you what's true and what's not true? Supposedly there's only one true image of the pale blue dot, the Earth that we live on. And actually there's a dude that worked for NASA who created a lot of those images, and he said that none of them are actual photographs. They're computer composites. in which they take this data and they piece it all together and then they just copy and paste. That's why a lot of the clouds are the same. That's why they've written words and created images, just kind of like how Disney did or does, you know. The insiders know, and you're not in the club. Speaking of Disney and NASA, you know, when I was a child, there were 9. I was the 9th child, and there were always 9 planets. And Pluto was the 9th. And I don't know, 10, 20 years ago, they decided that it was too far away and too small to keep it as part of the 9 planets. But have you ever seen an image of the planet Pluto that NASA has provided? So here you go. Here's Pluto, the planet, and here's Pluto, the Disney character. Do you see any similarities? How about now? And as I said before, I always like to leave you with something positive on something negative. I'm going to give you 2 names that I recommend. If you don't know much about them, you should do your own research and dive deep into them. Now, everybody knows Tesla, and they probably know Tesla through Elon Musk. But there was a scientist named Nikola Tesla, and he's probably, in my opinion, the wisest, smartest gift to humanity that this world has ever seen. And I'm just going to leave you with one quote. He said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." And speaking of frequency, here's another name that you should check out. Raymond Rife. He was an inventor, and he created a machine in which frequency killed bacteria and the big C. And you can watch videos on it. Now, both of these men had a lot of problems with the government, and their labs burned down conveniently, and all of their research was confiscated. Speaking of a rabbit hole, look into Trump and his uncle. His uncle has something to do with Tesla. And when Tesla died, Trump's uncle went in there and confiscated a lot of the research that Tesla had. Don't know. Interesting. Just another, you know, rabbit holes, how a rabbit hole goes down and then it kind of goes into a little burrow over here, and maybe it goes deeper and it goes over there and then over there. And that's why rabbit holes are so tricky. The deeper you go, the more you don't know. Just like in education, just like information. The more I know, the more I don't know. But I am having a good time trying to figure it out. And maybe sometimes find my way back out. I want to know as much as possible. And if I'm going to be labeled negatively for it, so be it. So, who's on this journey with me? If you are, give me a thumbs up. If you are, give me a comment below and tell me what theories float your boat. And if any that I didn't touch on, please drop them below and I'll check them out. And if you like any of these more than others, and you want me to talk more about some than the others, then I'd be happy to do that. And if I don't know, I'll research, and I also like dropping names. I like dropping names. There's a lot of people out there, you know, that are talking about very interesting topics. All of these people are educated. Do they have all the answers? No. Do I have all the answers? Most definitely not. But I'm having a good time trying to figure out what all this is, who I am, and what's the frequency, Kenneth. So, until next time, keep doing your own research, keep learning something new, and as always, be vigilant. Peace out.